So, a very good morning, dear students. Welcome to my channel, Maths with Mahanti Sir. Children, in the last class, we were discussing about your area of parallelogram and triangle. That is chapter number 9 of your NCERT book, okay? And it was completed in all respect in the last class. I had discussed all the theorems, and proved everything geometrically, and I am sure you must have understood. Today we will discuss a new chapter, that is Heron's formula. Yes. What is Heron's formula? Children, Heron's formula actually it is a formula which deals with the area of scalene triangle. Children, you know what is a scalene triangle. There are different types of triangles: scalene triangle, equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle, then your right angle triangle, right isosceles triangle, obtuse triangle, acute triangle, etc. There are different types of triangles, you know. Children, you already know what is the general formula, what is the formula to find the area of any triangle. In class 7 we had read how to find area of any general triangle. I hope you must have remembered. It is half into base into height. That means half the product of base and height. You see, this is the first formula. Area of any triangle. Area of any triangle can be found out by the formula half into b into h, where b is the base and h is the height. Okay. Any triangle means it may be equilateral, it may be isosceles, it may be scalene. It can be calculated provided we know what is the base and what is the. If the base and height, the length of base and height are given, then we can find area of any triangle using this formula. Okay. Then, apart from this formula to find area of any triangle, there are formulae to find area of other specific triangle. Suppose equilateral triangle, how to find its area? It has a different formula. Suppose your right angle triangle, how to find area of right angle triangle? Suppose this is a right angle triangle. Look at this angle is 90 degree. This is B, and this is H. Perpendicular base and height. So what will be area of right triangle? You see. The formula you know, it is half into P into B. This is the formula. Half into P into B means half into product of the sides containing the right angle. This is perpendicular, this is base. Perpendicular and base. These two sides, they contain the right angle. So half into product of the sides containing the right angle is equal to your area of right triangle. Okay. Now, suppose you are given an equilateral triangle. See, you know in equilateral triangle, all the three sides are equal. Suppose the length of each side is A. You see, this is the altitude. Suppose this is H. You see, this is the altitude, H. Like perpendicular means it is altitude. Suppose A, B, C, this is B. The length of each side of this equilateral triangle, suppose A. Then what will be area of equilateral triangle? You know it. Area of equilateral triangle, you see, area of equilateral triangle is root 3 by 4 into S square. S square means square of the side. Root 3 by 4 into S square. So using this particular formula, we can find what? Area of equilateral triangle. Using this formula, we can find area of right triangle or right angle triangle. But this is the general formula. This is the formula to find area of any triangle. Maybe equilateral, maybe right triangle, maybe scalene triangle. But the condition is the base and height of the triangle. Height means the altitude. The perpendicular drawn from a vertex to any opposite side. Okay, that is the height or altitude. If the base and height of the triangle is given, whatever the triangle may be, okay, we can find its area using this formula. Okay. So these are some formulae we already know it from elementary classes or primary classes or middle level classes. Okay. Now, Heron's formula, it deals with particularly how to find area of scalene triangle. Children, you know what is a scalene triangle. I hope you know what is scalene triangle. You see, suppose ABC is a triangle. Okay. Now it is scalene triangle under what condition? If the sides are of different length. You see, suppose the length of this side is A, the length of this side is B, small b, and the length of this side AB is small c. You see, look at BC. The side BC is the opposite side of angle A. BC is the side opposite to angle A. so it will be taken as small a. Because you see, BC is the opposite side of angle A, that is why it will be taken as small a. Similarly, AC, look at. AC is the opposite side of angle B, so it will be denoted as by small b. AC is the opposite side of angle C, so it will be denoted by small c. Now, clearly the three sides of triangle ABC, the length of three sides of triangle ABC are different, or they are of different length. So, what we call it? We call it what triangle? We call it a scalene triangle. Now, the point is how to find the area of this triangle. So, to find the area of this triangle, Heron had derived a formula. Okay, Heron, he was a great mathematician. He had derived or proved a formula to find the area of scalene triangle, whose all the sides are of different length. Okay. Now the point is, what is that formula? Let us discuss. Okay. Now what is Heron's formula? In order to understand what is Heron's formula, see what will be the area of this scalene triangle as given by Heron's. So first what we have to find out? First to find the perimeter. You see, perimeter. Actually the proof of this formula is not there, it is beyond the course. We have to simply remember the formula, what is Heron's formula, and we have to apply it to find area of scalene triangle. Okay, there is no need to prove because its proof is not there in the course or the syllabus. Okay. So, in order to find the area of this scalene triangle, suppose ABC, the length of whose three sides are small a, small b and small c. So, what is the first step? The first step is to find perimeter. Perimeter of triangle. This triangle. Suppose you denote it by 2s. 2s, it is the symbol. 2s is the symbol of perimeter of triangle, and you know what is perimeter. It is the length of the boundary of a figure, means the length of the boundary of this triangle. And again, what is the meaning? What is meant by length of boundary? Length of boundary means we have to add the length of all the three sides. That is small a, small b and small c. So clearly 2s will be equal to a plus b plus c. This is perimeter of triangle. Okay. So first step is first you find the perimeter. After finding the perimeter of scalene triangle ABC using this formula 2s equal to a plus b plus c, where small a, small b and small c are the lengths of the three sides of this triangle, then what is the next step? The next step is you find out s. If 2s equal to a plus b plus c, then s will be equal to a plus b plus c by 2. Then you can ask, sir, what is s? Yes. This s is what? This s is your semi-perimeter. This is semi-perimeter or half of the perimeter. S stands for semi-perimeter, 2s stands for perimeter. So 2s equal to a plus b plus c, it is the formula to find perimeter of scalene triangle. Then you find the semi-perimeter. Okay. After finding semi-perimeter, what you will do? After finding semi-perimeter, you find s minus a. You see, you are given the length of a, you are given this side, whatever it may be. Suppose it is 10 cm, 5 cm, 8 cm, whatever it may be. You are given the length of a. So after calculating the semi-perimeter, first you find s minus a. That means take the difference of a from semi-perimeter. Again you find the difference of b from s. That means you find s minus b. What is the difference of semi-perimeter and the second side, that is suppose small b. Then you find s minus c. You see. So what I mean to say, children, after finding the semi-perimeter of this scalene triangle, first you find s minus a, then you find s minus b, then you find the value of s minus c. Okay. After finding the values of s minus a, s minus b and s minus c, take the product of these three, means you multiply them. Okay. So multiply s minus a, s minus b into s minus c and find the product. And multiply it by s. You see. What Heron did? Heron first he found the semi-perimeter of the scalene triangle s using the formula a plus b plus c by 2. After finding s, what did he do? He found the value of s minus a, then s minus b, then s minus c. Then he took the product. He took the product of these three, and after taking the product of these three, he multiplied it by s. What is s? S is your semi-perimeter again. And then he took the square root, you see. He took the square root of the whole, you see. He took the square root of S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C. So this formula is the formula to find, yes, A, where A is what? A is the area, where A stands for the symbol A stands for area of scalene triangle. Okay. So area of scalene triangle is calculated by this formula. And this formula, this important truth or formula is known as Heron's formula, which deals with or which gives how to find the area of a scalene triangle if its three sides are given, which are of different length. That is small a, small b and small c. You will use this formula to calculate the area of a scalene triangle, provided you are given the length of all the three sides. Okay. Now the point is, this is the formula to calculate area of scalene triangle, S minus A, S minus B, S minus C into S. Okay. Now children, you know how to find your area of parallelogram, area of rhombus, etc. Still let me tell you the formula, because this formula will also come in while solving problems based on your Heron's formula. While you will use this formula to find area of scalene triangle, it may so happen that in some questions are given in NCERT book and other books also, you will find there are some questions on parallelogram and rhombus, where you will use the concept of Heron's formula to find area. Okay, so it is necessary for us to know what is the formula for area of rhombus, what is the formula of area of what, parallelogram, etc. Children, I hope you know, because you have already read it in junior classes. So area of parallelogram, what is the formula for area of parallelogram? See, area of parallelogram. Children, you know what is a parallelogram, I need not say. Still I am drawing the figure. See, this is a parallelogram, suppose, because this side and this side parallel, and this side and both pairs of opposite sides parallel. This is a parallelogram. And how to calculate the area of a parallelogram? It is, the formula is what? It is base into height or base into altitude. And you know, in a parallelogram, there are four sides. We can take any side as the base. Any side of the parallelogram can be taken as the base. And suppose this is the base, then this will be the corresponding altitude. See, suppose A, B, C, D, and this is M. If BC is the base, then M is the corresponding altitude. If you are given the length of this BC, means the base and the altitude, you can easily compute what will be its area by the formula base into height or base into altitude. So the formula is B into S. So you remember this thing, children, because it will come in use. It will come in your use while solving problems on Heron's formula. Okay, as given in NCERT book and other reference books. Okay. So this is area of parallelogram. Then what is area of rhombus? I hope you know what is a rhombus. See, look at the figure. Suppose A, B, C, D. Look at this quadrilateral. It is a rhombus. When? Why we call it a rhombus? We call it a rhombus when we call a quadrilateral a rhombus. In order that it will, you know it in class 8 it was there. What is a rhombus and how to find area, etc. Everything was there in class 8 and 7 also. See, a quadrilateral is a rhombus if what? It is a parallelogram. First condition is it should be a parallelogram. Second condition, one pair of adjacent sides equal. Means this side and this side. Suppose AB and AD are equal, or BA and BC are equal, or CB and CD are equal, or DC and DA are equal. Any one pair of what? Adjacent sides equal, and if it is a parallelogram, we call it a rhombus. Because in that case, what will happen? All the four sides will be same. That means all the four sides of a rhombus are same, but like in a square. But rhombus is not a square. What is the reason? The reason is in a square each angle is 90 degrees, but in rhombus no angle is 90 degrees. See, mark here. So children, it is very important to differentiate between a rhombus and a square. Rhombus and square both are parallelograms, okay? But the only difference is what? In rhombus no angle is 90 degrees, but in your square each angle is 90 degrees. That is the difference. In square also all the four sides equal. Rhombus all the four sides equal. Rhombus is a parallelogram. Square is also a parallelogram. The only difference between rhombus and square is that in rhombus no angle 90 degree, but in square each angle 90 degree. Okay, I hope you understood. We have already read all these things in our junior classes. Okay. Now the point is how to find the area of this what? Rhombus. Area of rhombus. See, to find area of rhombus, okay, to find area of rhombus, what is the formula? What formula we will use? Area of rhombus. See, then just I told told you that rhombus is a parallelogram. Okay, if rhombus is a parallelogram, then whatever is the formula to find area of a parallelogram, the same formula we can use to find area of a rhombus also, because rhombus itself is a parallelogram. And what is the formula for area of parallelogram? It is base into height or base into altitude. So the same formula will be applicable for area of rhombus, that is B into H. So this is one formula to calculate the area of rhombus. Still there is another formula. I hope you must have remembered. What is that? It is half the product of the diagonal. See, this is one diagonal, this is another diagonal. So we can say half into D1 into D2. You see, half into product of the two diagonals, that is AC and BD. Half into product of the two diagonals, it gives the rhombus or area of rhombus. Okay. So these are the two formulae which we can use to find area of rhombus. And you know what is perimeter of rhombus? You see, as I told you, in a rhombus all the four sides are equal. So definitely the perimeter of rhombus will be 4 into side. Okay, like that of square. Okay. So these are some formulae which we need to remember in order to apply while solving problems based on Heron's formula. Okay. So this is the main concept, children. We have to understand what is Heron's formula. Heron's formula is nothing but the formula to find area of what? Area of scalene triangle, which is equal to S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C under square root. Where S is what? S is the semi-perimeter, and A, B and C, small a, small b and small c are the length of the three sides. Okay. So children, this is all about Heron's formula. It is a very small chapter. Okay. So this is the concept of Heron's formula. In another class we will discuss how Heron's formula will be applied to problem. Nothing else is there in this chapter. It is a very small chapter. Okay. Just one formula, Heron's formula. How to find area of scalene triangle using Heron's formula. No, not that this formula we will use only to find scalene triangle. We can also apply this formula to find area of any triangle, provided the length of three sides are given. They may be same, they may not be same. If they are not same, then no doubt this formula will be used. But if the length of three sides are same, then also we can use this formula to find the area of that triangle. Instead of using equilateral triangle area formula, root 3 by 4 into square of the side, okay, or half into base into height. See, if we want to apply the formula half into base into height, it is necessary to calculate the altitude. Okay, we have to find the altitude first. Without finding altitude, we cannot apply the formula. Suppose you are given only base. Without finding altitude, how can you find the area? Using the formula half into base into height, which is the area of any triangle. Okay. So this formula is particularly or specifically used to find the area of your scalene triangle. So with this we came to the end of this chapter, that is Heron's formula. We will discuss some problems on this chapter particularly, so that the chapter will come to an end, and I will discuss problems on this chapter, that is Heron's formula, in the next class. Children, I hope whatever I discussed regarding Heron's formula you must have understood. If at all it is true, and if you think yes, what Manthi sir is explaining very nicely, and we are able to understand everything properly, then I must say that you please hit the like button and subscribe my channel. Okay, so we shall meet again in the next class with discussion of some problems based on your Heron's formula. Thank you.